Matt, so good to see you. Big news. High earners age 50 plus are about to lose a major tax break. Starting this year in 2026, workers age 50 and older who earn more than $145,000 will lose a key tax break for their retirement savings. What's new?
What's new is the catch-up contributions for those 50 and over. Current contributions for people 50 and under are 23,500. I should say
Mhm.
clarify. For 2026, we can defer 23,500. The catch-up contribution goes up to 7,500. Previously, you could put that in whatever bucket you want, the Roth
Right.
bucket or the tax deferred bucket. Starting in 2026, the catch-up contributions for high income earners can only go into the Roth bucket.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So before we could reduce our taxable income with those pre-tax catch-up contributions. So how will this switch to after-tax Roth contributions affect take-home pay and future withdrawals?
It's going to reduce your take home pay a little bit, but the
Mm,
benefit is in the future, you're going to have more money in the Roth bucket. So down the road, you have more tax free income. So for high income earners, honestly, I don't look at this as a loss. I mean, there may be some situation where you're a high income earner for only a short window period of time. So you're trying to get to deductions.
right.
But for the masses, that's not the case.
Mhm.
So I don't see it as a detriment. I see it as an encouragement for all people to consider the Roth bucket.
Right. And that kind of brings me to the $1 million question, Matt. How should we determine if we should be contributing to a tax deferred or a Roth account anyways?
Good question. And Aaron, as you know, everyone's situation is different.
Right.
Some people already have a lot of Roth money. And when I say some, statistically, more people have the tax deferred bucket. So looking at the chart here, we're looking at the tax deferred bottom right in the blue. Most people are going to have a large sum of money in that bucket. And that's
Right.
good. We like that. But we want a balanced approach in retirement. And we want to also plan for taxes. And that big blue bucket there, that's going to be a tax bomb for most people, the light blue. So we want to also consider the tax-free bucket at the top. It's at the top for a reason. It's one of the first things we should plan for right now in retirement. What does my tax-free bucket look like? And of course, at the same time, bottom left, we want to make sure we have our 6 months reserves. And we also want to consider investments in those types of in that type of bucket that can grow tax-free as well. So lots of things to consider. Everyone's situation is different, but we should all be reminded of the U.S. marginal tax rate.
Right.
Uh, Going back historically, it's been as high as 94%, and that's just
Yikes.
the federal tax. You still have state tax on top of that. So we're at all-time lows, and yes, the tax cuts have just been passed, but as we know, that can change with any administration at any time.
Right.
So we need to plan accordingly.
All we know right now is that we are living in historically low tax rates. So for a lot of us, it might make sense to take advantage of that.
Let me say
So
one more thing on that, Aaron, if you don't
please.
mind. So if interest rates change 1% in the future to be higher, 1%, that means I should have taken the deduction today. If they're 1% lower, then yes, I was down 1%. But do you really see that happening? Do you really see interest rates dropping by 1% in the next 30 years? I don't know anyone that does.
I do not, because you and I have both seen the national debt right now, which stands at 30 something trillion. I can't even keep it straight because it'll probably be out of date by the time this video hits all your channels, Matt.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So, one last question then. For those people who are married to that tax deduction, would you recommend any other strategies like health savings accounts or other tax advantaged accounts to help make up for that lost deduction?
You want to consider everything. So yes, HSAs are great, health savings accounts, and it's a great deduction. You get a deduction when the money comes in, and then you get like a little debit card that's attached to that bank account that you put it in. So it's not just like any local bank. The bank account needs to be a HSA savings account, and there's a million of them out there. But when you go to the doctor, you use that little card, and when it comes out of that account, you don't pay taxes. You got a deduction going in, no taxes on the way out. It's a win. Inside that bucket, you can also now choose investments that grow. So we're beating interest rates just from sitting in the bank account. We can actually
Yeah.
go to mutual funds. It's a great long-term bucket. In addition to that, after age 65, you can pull money out, even if it's for non-medically related reasons. Consider it, but make sure you have a health savings, HSA qualified medical plan. I've talked to CPAs and also other financial advisors that gave bad advice because they thought you just had to have a high deductible medical plan. That's not the case. There's more to it.
Right, absolutely. It's clear there are a lot of moving parts with this, especially when we talk about strategic tax planning, which again, I know is something you specialize in, Matt. So if somebody would like to sit down with you, talk through these changes, talk through how they can make sure that they are properly tax diversified for their retirement, what's the best way to reach you with questions?
Give us a call and schedule an appointment. My number is 425-256-3105.
All right, perfect. Matt, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Erin.